Hi there, I'm Miss April, and you are watching this because you are probably in my home economics sewing class. And I'm going to show you how to deal with a 4-hole button. Now, 2-hole buttons, easy, all you're doing is looping. 4-hole buttons have a couple more options for you. Now, you want to mark or hold the button exactly where you want it, and make sure that the knotted side of your thread is on the underside of the button, the back end of the fabric. Doesn't really matter on a 4-hole button which hole you start with, because after you get the first thread through, you can adjust it to the perfect location. Holding this, you want to pick an adjacent button hole that you're going to make your first loop. And we did it this way. As you can see there. All right. And we're going to continue this process again from the back. We're going to come up through the buttonhole we first went through. Pull the thread all the way through. Now you want to keep checking to make sure that on the back you don't have some arbitrary loops that have knotted and a bunch of excess thread that will be messy and weaken the integrity of the button. And then I'm going to go back through the same hole that I went through to make my first loop. And as you can see, let's get a good focus here. I have my first buttonhole loop through. Now I went through and made 2 loops. How many ever loops you want to use to secure it? And I would suggest 4 or more. You just want to be consistent. So if I did 5 loops here, I want to make sure I do 5 loops here. And so I'm going to go up through the first hole that I used again, and back down. Pull it through. That was 3. One more time. And that's 4. Okay. So now I want to come back over and I want to find the empty buttonhole. And I'm going to go through and pull that, and I'm going to make the same amount of loops here, which, if you can remember, was 4. Now, when I've made all my loops, I want to secure the buttonhole. This is just sort of the classic style. But I want to secure my buttonhole, I want to secure my button with a nice tight knot like I've showed you before in the back. Pull it tight, secure it with a fingernail, and pull. And I want to double knot it. So I'm going to get it under the previous knot, pull it tight, my nail securing the thread at the knot. And then I'm going to cut it. And we have a nicely looped, secure, functional button. Now, one of the other things that you can do in a little bit of a fancier stitch for a button is to do a cross stitch. So you'll make an X with the button. Let me just knot this and I will show you what that is going to look like. So again, I'm going to make sure the knot is on the underside of the button. We do not want to see the knot sticking up from the finished button. And I'm going to go crossways to secure the next stitch in my loop. If you can see that, I went across the holes. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to one of the empty buttonholes, and I'm going to finish that X, as you can see. Now, I could continue to do that and just cross one over the other, one over the other, and then you would have your two various styles of 4 buttonhole sewing. Hope that helped.